Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ronly Conley Twitch stream. That's R only, C only. Got it? Good. I'm Justin, and I'm glad you're here with me today. Gonna go back to New Chirp City, a place I have not visited in quite some time. In fact, the last day I saved was June the 6th of 2023, so I apologize for having been away from you so very long. I have played some City Skylines Remastered since then in my own personal time. So please forgive me if I am forgetful of some of the finer detailed controls, like the road system is a little bit different in the original City Skylines than it is in the remastered version. Now, I don't remember what the last thing we did in New Chirp City was, and I should have done my homework ahead of time. I know it, but I'm working on too many different things. So I didn't get a chance to. However, sometimes it's really good to come back to a city that you spent a lot of time on and just check in and see how things are going. And, you know, sometimes it can go in a completely different direction. It's like if you are writing a story and you put it away for a few years, sometimes decades even, and you come back, there's going to be a lot more that you put into it than you may never have considered before. So there's something to be said for me having taken, what, 8 months off almost? That's pretty good math to be so quick. All right. You'll forgive me if I get a little loopy. I had an allergy shot today, so my whole headspace is a little out of whack. Trying to breathe out of both sides of my nose. They say that that's something normal human people can do, and I apparently am not a normal human person. Some of you are laughing out there, I'm sure. One listen to a sentence of mine, and I'm sure you're thinking that I definitely am not a normal human person. There's a car alarm going off in the background. I hope you can hear. Doesn't it make it sound like you're even more in the city? Well, here's some news. See these little icons above the cemetery mean that they are full. So we've got quite a bit of space and 2 landfills. We've got 1 spare. I know we did put in last time some incineration plants. I have unlocked some new things since last time I played, including this eco-friendly incinerator plant, which does the same amount of work. What does that say? I can't read. 48,000 a week processes garbage, and this one is 48,000. So it does the same as this really polluting regular incineration plant. Though I think in New Chirp City we've done all recycling, which does half of that processing, but the eco-friendly one has hardly any pollution and looks kind of cool. I think it looks like a wave. So that it does cost a lot more, but it's actually less upkeep per week. Yay, climate-friendly technology. The recycling is sad in this game, I'm going to tell you the truth. You also have options for waste transfer facilities. That's like for residents to go to, and then they take that to the big processing complex, which is a huge operation they got going on there. And this is still pretty large, too. I mean, it takes up half of that city block. Floating garbage collector, you put that in the river. We don't really have a problem with that so much. It's more if you have a lot of industry on the water that it sucks up all that gross stuff, for lack of better words. There's finally this waste disposal unit, which is pretty big, but I like the way it looks. Sometimes I put it in my cities just to see it. Where I live has just down the street a big old smokestack like that, where it used to be, I think, a coal power plant, and they discontinued it sometime in the last 10 years. So we are low on garbage processing. We got $3 million in the bank. I think we can afford to overhaul the trash system. And I can tell you right now, if you go back to the last episode of the new Chirp City saga on the Lonely Conely YouTube channel, because it's been so long ago, I don't think it's on Twitch. On the YouTube channel, at Lonely Conely, that's R only C only, got it? Good, I know you do. If you go back and watch the last installment of New Chirp City, I'm sure I don't mention anything about these this wave incinerator plant, the eco-friendly one, because I didn't have it at that point. I think it's a DLC with the Heart of Korea. So I got that when it was on sale or something. I don't know. So I'm sure I didn't think about overhauling the trash system. The only downside is it's just a little bit bigger, because of course it is. Can't have anything easy. There's an incinerator plant there. I'm not so concerned about the pollution, though, because it's in the middle of the industry area. We planned that. Go us for city planning, although if you look at this traffic, what a nightmare. Are you kidding me? It's because that's the only place to get on and off the highway. We built that last time, specifically for the industries, so that they wouldn't go through town here and have to go. And by last time, I mean a long time ago. We built this intersection. However, I think this specific street and intersection is new, and I think that's part of the dilemma here. It's only a two-way street, so what we'll do right now, immediately, we'll go down here, get our 4-lane road, or better yet, since the traffic's all one side, we'll do the asymmetrical 3-lane. Gotta change the direction, though. I don't know what makes the rules on that, but this will at least filter out the very few. I think since it's a left turn and a right turn, it might not actually be that helpful. Yeah, so they're just gonna all go in the one lane still. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, the best thing is probably to make that a one-way. And we can also add an exit here, so sometimes you get stagger. Like, see, we can watch that we're doing research here now. This very, heavy stuff, scientific work that we're doing here on City Skylines. So the cars are going and turning right at that out of the city. We can, in fact, look at them. If we pause it real quick, we can track where are they headed. They're going down this way into town. So he's just bypassing all of this. I think we have a rule here in Twitchville. This neighborhood, I think, allows no through traffic because it's all residential for the most part. And we can confirm that as well. Yes, that's the icon with no buses, is like no heavy traffic, which is why the industrial traffic avoids. And I think the circle with the cars is the old town. Yes, it is. So only residents and businesses can use Twitchville and not industrial heavy-duty trucks. So they're either going to go all the way through town here, which is not ideal, or they'll take that exit. So since we can watch in our studying, the bulk of this traffic is turning right out of this. Here are our options. We can move this intersection to go straight from where they're turning, so it's there's less zigzag involved. And all those cars coming from the other direction are turning left. We could add one lane on and off in either direction to this bridge to dilute some of that, so we could at least put the traffic that's trying to go the other direction, making this left turn here. We can make that traffic come to here, but that also causes a problem for residents. And if we do the same with this exit, if they're mostly turning, that might cause some problems, because they're about 50-50, and we want people to be able to go into town from that direction too. You could do a roundabout. That's what the people on Reddit will tell you. But I'm more interested in, I think the the crazy highway interchanges. While some people call it spaghetti, I think the last one I made looked like if you took an electrical cord and just dropped it on the floor. That's how my highway exit went. But I do pretty good for the most part. This one I think was a stock one. I think this came with the map. This one I made myself. And that looks pretty good, if I could say so myself. It looks like a turkey baster. This one is me all over. I do think it looks neat, though. Not too spaghetti-like. So we can certainly figure out something. And it could be a matter of just doing an elevated roundabout or adding another bridge between these. We could, I guess, technically put a bridge from here to here, assuming we can get the height. I'm going to try to figure out how do I... Oh, a triangle here. On the remastered version, you got to hold R1. So, just going to take off all of that. I like to take my elevation step down just one peg to help so it's not too high. The downside is it won't automatically go over the highway, but it does help with balancing, so there's no weird jumps in elevation. So we can go from there to there. Let's see, here's the real trick. Aha! So we could do that and do like I was talking about and have the exit ramps be there. Keep this a two-way or a four-way. But they're going to this train station, so that's why we don't want that to be an exit. Although there's probably a decent amount of traffic that comes just from this train station, the cargo station looping around. Oh, see, my friends, this is the root of the problem. It took me this long. We've been going how long? And it took me this long to realize this cargo station is getting a lot of traffic too, which is backing up here. So the people leaving there, they're probably also going to the same location. We added this road to try to help with that, alleviate some of that, but I don't think it worked. This would actually be a better 3-lane asymmetrical, because then we could get the people come straight that way. They wouldn't have to make that extra way there. I mean, look at that. That's like 2 blocks at least they're hooking around. And if they're all the way on the far side of the industry, they're going to take this route because it's more efficient. So here's what we will do. I think we can do that. But maybe it just makes sense to put another bridge in between. Anything to get this gridlock from happening. Okay, yeah, all right. So I'll do this for now. We'll hedge our bets here. Can we? Yes, we can. Okay, we'll take this, extend this exit ramp so they can just drive right across. And I may even move this, make this an on-ramp directly from here. I wonder if I could get away with that. Now, you don't really want to leave room for literal one car there, but this is just a test phase. Trial run here. We do have the problem of them cutting across traffic to go there. They haven't all figured out. It takes a moment for them to adjust to the new traffic pattern in their computer brains. That old ramp doesn't really work for anybody except those who are coming from this direction. So that's one reason why that's there. We'll keep that there just to keep them from adding to this chaos. This would be a great moment for a roundabout to have right in this intersection. But I think what I'd rather do, and what I'm really thinking about doing, is just making this an overpass and go up there. Those people can stand to go down the block, I think. Or we can add another road one way that way. Well, it does seem to be helping to some extent. And there's not a lot of traffic on the bridge right now. There's still a little bit of gridlock, but I think some of that's residual. We'll keep thinking about those things. We never did the trash, so we're going to go back to the trash. I apologize if you're watching. Every time I edit these videos for YouTube, to timestamp them, I quickly am reminded how distracted I get very easily. There's not really any good spot to put these. What is in the way there? Oh, an incineration plant. Well, it doesn't really help me. We'll put it right there. The biggest thing you got to think about when you place these trash facilities is the trucks that run to it. But isn't this such a better looking building? It looks fancy. It puts out pretty white steam instead of smoke. I assume that's steam. It could be very white smoke too. It's just large. That's the only downside. But it makes it look like new Chirp City's moving up. We're not in that old industrial way there. Not that I have a problem with that. Looks like where I live. Let's check on our cemetery. Oh, we've got a lot of these crematoriums around, so we've got plenty of cars for that. It really only becomes a problem if you start to see the death icons appear. I mean, these poor people are having problems with that. That's probably more traffic related than actual availability. But there's quite a bit of redness out there, that those buildings are red because there's dead bodies there. So it's kind of strange that there's no icon saying, please come pick up this dead body. We could probably stand to put a crematorium in the middle here. Put it right there. The only downside of that is well, I thought it was a bus stop, but it must not be. That's not a bad location. Very centralized. Fills in these holes. I don't think all of these cemeteries were full last time we played, or maybe that was the next thing we were going to do, is add more crematoriums. I do have a new crematorium option. That is the Crematorium Memorial Park, which processes 200. What does the small one do? 105, and that's probably because we have a bonus on our healthcare budget. 200 is pretty good, though. It is a lot bigger, but it looks better for the community. Maybe I should have placed that instead of that crematorium. Nah, it's too big. Would look nice here, though. But yeah, we'll do it. Why not? Okay, and we'll just destroy that crematorium. But it's all my fault, so don't blame it on the crematorium. Those people beat me before I could zone for heavy. I don't want to put heavy here because I don't want to block out the botanical garden. Really trying to keep all of our high density in on the main roads or in specific neighborhoods for New Chirp City. You can do it however you want. I do have cities that are like all high density. I'm trying to beat the milestones. We are a capital city, not quite to colossal yet, but we will get there, I'm sure, by the end of our time together eventually. If not, be sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram. So at Ronly Conly, that's R only C only. Got it? Good. I know you do. If you follow me in all those places, you are bound to know the next time that I go to New Chirp City, which should be sometime next week, if not sooner. But I tend to do these spur of the moments. I'm in the middle of about 4, maybe 5 projects at a time, all of which you can find on my website, ronlyconly.com. That's ronlyconly.com. There you can find more about me, the person, Justin, behind this controller talking, and you can also learn about, read some of my writing. I do talk about my record collection, albums and that I really like, that have stuck with me for years. Also have just other musings, things about arts management, theater reviews. I'm hoping to get into some wrestling reviews soon, so do check that out and follow me in those places, and you'll be up to date with what the heck is going on in the world of Ronly Conly. I do like this Lakefront neighborhood, and I really like this blue building. I want to make that historic. I like this other one too. It looks like Myrtle Beach. That one already is historic. Beautiful lake. That was I think that happened in one of the last couple New Chirp City episodes. We built the train line and this little hotel neighborhood. 40 people a week. That's not a lot, but we don't really have a lot of attractions. All we've got is commercial zoned. There are some attractions over here. Let's see. Pull up the info views. The land value. Nope. Leisure. That's what we want. Shows the unique buildings in purple, parks, and the custom park areas, which we've made. But there's not a lot in the way of leisure over here. It is work zone and commercial, so there's definitely room to build something, maybe right off this highway. I've also gotten skyscrapers, which I think are new, or we could try some of these plazas that are new for the City Skylines 2 release, which I would have had, I hoped I would have, but they pushed back the console release. So I can't do anything about that. I wish I could, just for you. I'd do that. Excuse me. So we have the Colossal Order offices, which you may have. This might be a nice place for the Grand Mall, right? You know, Lakefront Mall. I would put it on the inside, and by inside I mean this main part of New Chirp City. I think that would look well, but maybe it's a separate development, just a new extension off of here with this highway exit. That would be a nice place for that. Could do the Colossal Orders, but that's such a huge building. It kind of gets on my nerves. Do you ever take offense to stuff like that? Like, it's not really a problem. I'm not really mad about it, but what are they doing? Now, the Space Needle might be cool in this part of town. Especially in the IT section. That's what all those buildings are. But if we put it right here, or like extend this road and put it here, they can still walk to it, they can see it, and you get the views of the lake unobstructed, although, well, it's just closer to the lake. I do like the idea of really building around the interstate for these commercial tourist areas, and then your residential being nice little quiet neighborhoods. Yeah, I like that idea. See, we're planning. This is planning and research. We could do this. Aquarium over here might be cool too, but there's so much water throughout. Why should we limit it to just the lake? Same with the museum there. Maybe the Sea and Skyscraper, but I think I would put it somewhere further on the river. So here's the modern Japan stuff. Most of these are little, tiny office buildings. These are pretty Mongo sized. That one's huge in comparison. Those IT buildings really are something. This high-rise office blends well. So maybe we'll we'll play around with that. I mean, we've bought this whole square over here. Maybe we've got a bigger area. Nope, we have bought all the space that we can until we become a colossal city. But using all these buildings too early makes me feel like I'm cheating. I'm partial to the marble building. Some of the taller, super tall ones are huge, but maybe that'd be worth pursuing. This is all part of the Skyscrapers DLC if you're on console. I think it's worthwhile to shake it up. If you're starting to feel, excuse me, if you're starting to feel like the game's getting stale, especially waiting for the City Skylines 2 to, I don't know, get adjusted to being a functioning game, it's a good way to freshen that up. I also got the Africa in miniature one, content DLC pack. Some cute little buildings out of there, little hotels, really low in height though. I like the gold tower. The silver tower's neat. The other ones are kind of fun. I like the big. They got some huge ones in this. Really funky shapes. Big conference center. These are nice, big. Looks like a resort to me. That actually might be cool over here on the lake. Yeah. Okay. I like the idea that we had about doing the Space Needle over here. So why don't we do that? We will. I'm just putting these rules on so I don't have to worry about how to make it like actually 180 degrees. Gonna pause it so I can keep that pedestrian path intact. That's the only. I don't understand why the pedestrian paths have the same rules as roads, but especially when they're dirt. I mean, really, if we're gonna get if you want to know how I really feel about it, they ought to put the pedestrian paths automatically between buildings, at least like a basic alleyway or walking space. You know, people should be able to walk freely, even in this game. But I digress. We'll play it again, okay? I think I may have more road options than last time, too. Okay. I don't know if I want it to be on the main road. I might make a side road and put it right up against the highway, but that might cause problems down the line with the train line. We can leave enough room for the train. I wish I could see that pretty clearly. I wish I could mark a spot a little better. So I just need to go up 4 and down maybe 3 squares. Shoot, that's the real benefit of having the squares. Well, it'll end up being only 2, but that's okay. I was going to go further, but this should guarantee that the rail can go. And, you know, why don't we think smarter, not harder? And, sorry, I got to take off all these rules. I hate that it automatically connects to stuff. Stop! Okay, so we got plenty of space there. Yeah, I should probably start with this thing. Maybe if I swing wide. Ooh, look at that. There's something neat there. So I think we got it in the perfect length. I don't know if I can make... We'll sure try. Yeah, alright. Perfectamundo. Okay, now what I want to do is take the same pathway and move it alongside. That'll probably get destroyed by the train tracks, but that's okay. We're not moving the train yet. We don't know where we're going. The frontier is wide. I imagine we'll just go down to this side of the lake. They need water at the space tower. What do they need water for? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and connect under the highway just so we don't have to fool with it later. Especially if we're trying to expand this little nook out a little more. I think there's got to be some good buildings I'm missing out. This is from the heart of Korea. These things are huge, so I'm partial to this little guy. Little entertainment agency. The department store is kind of neat also. So we will at least mark out these commercial spots. This I'm tempted to leave open and make into parks. For a single park. That would also help with the leisure on a wider radius. I mean, the space tower only did a little bit. I mean, having a small park there won't help the Mulberry District way over here, but it'll help some. We could also do parking lots. Now, these are also something new, and that's almost a perfect size. They have a big leisure radius for some reason. I couldn't tell you. Or we could do a deck. No, we couldn't do a deck. That's a shame. We'll do a parking lot. People on the internet love parking lots in City Skylines. And then you get this small one. Boom. Look at that. Now let's look at the leisure. This commercial neighborhood is much bluer than it was. I think it looks silly. We can put some descriptions, some decorations. All of these. Some of the DLCs come with some good ones too. I like the idea of putting a little building. I don't know where the actual front of the building is. Probably that side with the signs on the front. Yeah, doesn't that look like it's an important complex, good place to be? Why do these need to be roadside? I did not know that the Railways of Japan DLC had parking lots that also were parks. Guess we could have put the botanical. No, we couldn't have. I like this thing a lot too. This is my favorite thing to put in the middle of a roundabout or in a big highway interchange where it will fit. Aha, something like that. It's just crazy. Just big sculpture for the fun of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a lot for leisure. Ah, shoot. I didn't mean to destroy that house. It's like a sundial or something. Something like that. I don't know. What do I know about sundials, huh? Got a lot more sports fields, too. And there are some more options up here. Quite a few stadiums to choose from. The downside of stadiums is it messes your whole traffic situation up. You really got to be prepared for it. Lots of planning involved there. That actually wouldn't be a terrible thing to put beside this office, just for the highway. So there's those, and there's like more community options, which would be nice in a little neighborhood. As we build some more neighborhoods, that could be what makes them stand out. Why people want to live in that specific neighborhood. I do think we forgot about the garbage, but our capacity's a little low, but not too bad. The green is out there. Nobody's complaining and abandoning their houses yet, so that counts for something. These do also generate some no electricity out of those eco ones. But this, oh no, excuse me. Power output is 12 megawatts, so there's a little more value there. How are we doing on electricity production? We've got plenty. We need to turn that budget down lower. We still got a little bit more we can go low. We're wasting money over here. What the heck? I must have just put down one of these big towers. Powers of powers. Yeah, that'll be. We'll go up. We'll go back to 75, just to be safe. There may have been something on fire that didn't have power. All right, but for real, we want this. Yeah, I think it is new. I think that's why there's no buildings built around it. I built that road just for the power. I don't know that we'll keep that design that way, but yeah, that got our processing up pretty good. You can also check real easy with that. One moment, please. All right, my friends, sorry about that. I had an important message to get back to. I'm sure you missed me quite a bit. Probably wouldn't have been a terrible time for a break. However, we're going to resume where we were building this. Shoot, I didn't know this was residential. I do like that a lot, actually. Building the big mall. Well, I don't know if that wasn't the way I wanted it to be. Now, we don't have to keep the turn there just like that. But if we put them all there, it'll be a nice reason, too. Hello, Lemon Whisper 23. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Glad you're here with me on the Roly Conly Twitch stream. That's R only C only. Don't you forget it. All right, here we go. Look at that. Oh, come on. That's pretty nice. I like that a lot. We're building this waterfront neighborhood out. It's all office space and commercial zone. So we're going to add more commercial zone. Yeah, it looks terrible on console especially. And then when you think this is the original, not even the remastered looks a lot better. Oh, nice. I like this one definitely performs a lot better, and yeah, I agree. There's better controls, especially with the roads. Trying to change how you do these options. I think the remastered gives you too many options. I don't need 5-degree angles. So there's more of that. I guess we should put a pedestrian path there. Make sure my snap options aren't going to mess me up. You know, you got to go with these crosswalks. Oh, don't do that. Yeah, at some point it feels like they just got bored with the building designs and said, all right, we've got enough. I mean, look at all these. I couldn't tell you what these buildings are based on. I've never seen buildings like these in real life, but some of them are kind of funky looking in a good way. Okay, so that's all got to grow up and add them. I like to put these high-density residentials in these small one spots, but this one is so close to the mall that surely they would just complain the whole time. One thing about Sims in this game is they will complain about noise. And then if they're not close enough to entertainment, they'll complain about that. They never stop. It never ends with these people. Well, I changed around this intersection, added this exit ramp, and that seems to really have done the trick for traffic here. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the gridlock that it was when I started today. But I can't believe it helps so much just having that be not a part of the bridge mess. I don't know where all those cars are going, but they all got off that intersection at once. I think I'm going to make that off ramp 2-lane, just so they can go. If they're wanting to go to this cargo station, they don't have to fight. Yeah, okay. I was worried that I I had a stoplight there. Well, thanks for coming, man. Good to see you. Take it easy. Thanks for being here. Now, let's see. got the trash there. What we can do now that we have a little extra in our garbage processing capacity, I'm going to empty these landfills. We're just going to get rid of those. I kind of like the way they look a little bit, but not that much, and certainly not 3 in a row like that. That's really not necessary. It takes up too much space. We can't justify that. And if we get rid of them, we can put in more of these funky-looking, eco-friendly trash plants. Get rid of some of those recycling plants, and then, and of course the incinerators. Less pollution and more space. Although maybe not more space. I wish that the recycling would factor into your industries. Like, you have all these industries with the industry DLC here. We have not touched this yet, and I think, well, we touched the oil, but I had just gotten into that last summer before I, went on hiatus or whatever you want to call it. We've done enough to unlock the factories, but I wish like we could recycle, and the recycling centers made plastics that would go to the plastic factory. These pumps are out of order. There are like cheap options you can put on where it's unlimited natural resources. And I kind of wish we had done that. Maybe I will, just because I get so annoyed having to bounce around. But there's also, I do enjoy changing the neighborhoods, evolving the space as it grows. In one playthrough, I managed to put like a trade school and named it after the oil company that, donated the land, and, I entertain myself. Why do you have no power? Why do we have no power? I'm telling you, they're always complaining about something. Okay, fine, we'll go up. I'm just gonna go to we'll go to 90. That should be plenty. Thank you. All right. Now shut up about it. Okay, now I'm gonna do some industrial roads. We're just gonna go by the barracks, extend out. I don't want to get too much traffic on this cargo train. We've got one international cargo train and one intra-city train line, so they drop it off at this train, so they don't have to drive their cars all the way around the highway, and it drops it off here, and then they go drop it off at the international one, and it's all one big loop. There's a highway exit. Now this exit is doing something crazy. They're getting backed up, and I'm not really sure why. Oh, it's because this is such a short little path. We could probably honestly just forget about that one connection. I haven't built anything on it. We could just make the exit ramps go straight into that roundabout, which could be cool. But first we want to move these dead oil pumps. One here, come on, thank you. And at some point you kind of just have to let it be dead. Oh, there's a good spot. And you put it on the left side of the street, then they come from a different direction. They don't get caught up in the cargo traffic. Do need to run water line and apparently power. Gotta get rid of this stoplight here. There you go. And water over there. My goodness. So this is why 9 times out of 10 when I build a new road, I just go ahead and put down the water line. When you're starting a new city from scratch, it's good to limit yourself. Don't cover your whole map in water, but because you'll just spend extra. It costs 8 cents a week per cell of water pipes, so you don't want to spend too much on that. I don't think that's enough for it to really make a difference, but if you don't need to do it, you don't need to do it. Now we're at a comfortable 3.5 million. We could probably cut taxes, honestly, and I think I will. Yay! Our citizens are going to celebrate. We're cutting taxes by quite a bit. I'm going to leave the industry that high though, because they can afford it. And we have to build so much infrastructure for these industries, for these train lines. The biggest way to save the train cargo stations from getting backed up too far, as I'm sure I said in one of the previous installments, which you can find on my YouTube channel at Ronly Conley. That's R-only-C only. You got it. So this was actually a really good design that I did. I'm proud of myself for that. Give yourself a pat on the back. It'll be like you're patting me on the back for doing such a good design a long time ago. And we're just building off on that. Haven't really checked out the community college. Let's see what's going on there. Low on students, but we've at least gotten through all that stuff. We'll add visiting scholars. Why not? Let's go ahead and do a grant for academic works, because we know we're going to need more as the college grows. It's actually not a bad looking school. I don't think that we've unlocked everything for it. No. And we just unlocked the liberal arts college soon, but we don't have enough students really to justify getting there. Let's see. We're just a little under capacity, so there's no reason to build a new university at this time. Could stand to build some more schools, though. They must be pretty evenly spread throughout the city, the new houses. 2 high schools. We do have some new school options I could show you, so maybe I'll do that. Our new commercial district is looking nice. We can change the trees. I really like these purple ones. Got these new red ones too. I think they came with the Africa DLC, maybe a Japanese rail one. I don't know that one right off, so don't quote me on that. And don't yell at me if I'm wrong. I can't handle that pressure, man. A lot of people at the Space Needle, though. Cool thing about it, it rotates. We can walk around on the console. That's the biggest difference to me, that I actually really enjoy walking around. I wish you could be inside the Space Needle, but this is close enough. You get the view. And there's our new trash plants way off in the distance. We look at the mall. And the oil stuff's way out there. This was a nice touch. I'm glad we did this. Parking lots and the railway building it looks like one full piece. Like this, I feel like it all makes sense together. And that's the artistic part of it. You could think about it in this really logical systems management way, but at the same time, this is my favorite part, making it all look just beautiful, really. I mean, sometimes it's astounding what you can accomplish in this game, even on console, with all the limitations and no mods to help you out, especially for traffic purposes. That would really solve this problem if I was on PC. But it can be really stunning sometimes. One thing that the remaster version has, I would say that I like a lot more than this, that is an actual improvement, is that you can control the time of day, so you get to see your city at dawn and dusk or at night or wherever you want. You can change the whole position of the sun for some great pictures. And here you have the day and night cycle option, but it's, God, sometimes I don't want the distraction. It usually happens when I'm trying to do roads or something, that it's dark and I can't see anything. It makes it hard. This is our university housing district. That's why they all look that way. There's that U under the neighborhood name. That's what that means. If you didn't know, now you know. Our little Crematorium Memorial Park is I like that. That was a good move on our part. It probably should be beside these towers, but it's fine. Well, I think I may be winding down, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. How long have we been going this? Do I know? Is time real? We're almost at an hour. That feels like a decent stream. I don't know. Thank you for joining me either way. It's been fun, and I'm glad you're here with me. I always have better luck and get better inspired when I'm streaming, and that's because you're here. So I'm glad you are. Again, my name's Justin. This is the Lonely Conley Twitch, and be sure to follow me on Twitch so you can get notified when I go live. It tends to happen kind of spur of the moment because, grown up life, I got stuff to do. But we got some good work done, even though we didn't really do a whole lot physically. We did a lot of planning and we executed those plans. And for that, we give ourselves a pat on the back. And if you give yourself one, it'll be like you're giving me one. And if for nothing else, there's that. We're really just, today has been more me reacquainting myself with the work of art that is New Chirp City. And it is art. Like this park, for example. It used to be a stock park. In fact, it was one of the very first parks you can unlock. Park with trees. And I tried to replicate that, and we put in a lot of the custom park stuff and kept the housing in, and went right into the Arc de Triomphe, and even extended a plaza into this little neighborhood. Art Park, that's on a previous installment. You can find that on the YouTube channel at Ronly Conley. Find me on Instagram at Ronly Conley. Also, that's our only see only. And you can find my website, ronlyconley.com, where I'm talking about music, I'm talking about TV shows and theater plays that I've seen and worked on. You can find out more about me, Justin, the person, and the work that I do in the arts. And I'm going to take a quick screenshot of our new commercial district and Space Needle. Just for the gram, And, be sure to follow, subscribe, and follow again. And find my website. We'll see you next week on the new Chirp City, the Ronly Conley stream. Take care.